My name is Tabitha Lagat. For those who've watched my videos, I work at Chiron Lagat and Associates, where we do audit, accounting, and tax. I would like to have a session with an important segment of personnel, and this is creatives. Life is really boring without a creative, and because they're just working hand in hand with God, because God is a creator and they're also creative. So you find this is a person who's very innovative. This is a person who he's in a good network. He's being called for gigs here, a gig here, there. A DJ is in this category, a photographer, musician, influencer, content creator. All these people are part of the significant group that today I am doing accounting with them in this session. So if you're one of them, enjoy the ride. Business is income and expenditure. Business is a balance sheet which is assets minus liabilities. Assets are in two categories: non-current assets, your motor vehicle, a house, building, and proprietary rights, whereby you have some goodwill, that is an intangible asset. Then current assets, this is cash in the bank and the money that you're expecting from your customers, or deposits that you put somewhere, or a prepayment, a payment that you've made ahead of time. We encourage our clients to go towards asset accumulation, and the assets that you're accumulating, they should benefit. You could be having 3 cars, where one of the cars actually just sits in the parking, it's not being used, yet you're paying for it, insurance, comprehensive, yet maybe it's in owner financing, or you paid cash on it, so there was a cash outflow. That money, if it would be in an investment vehicle, you would have utilized it well. So the whole business of having an accountant is like, okay, let's vet these fixed assets that we have. If they're motor vehicles, do we use all of them? What's the significance? I know I have a client who normally tells me, okay, my job involves a lot of optics. When I'm going to a client that really outlook matters, I go with this car. But on my day-to-day running, I go with this other car. You see, these assets can actually be supported. Some intrinsic value that you are getting out of it, if you can name it, then it's okay. But the problem is we cannot name the intrinsic or extrinsic value of an asset. Every asset that we have must be purchased from somewhere, and that is revenue. Now, for us to guard our revenue, there needs to be contracts with our customers. Now, when we have our contracts with our customers, that's why it's very good to sit with professionals. If you are a creative, most of the time, if you have a lawyer and an accountant who are enlightened, you are at a good place, because each of them can refer you to the other. Now, when you have contracts, these contracts, so long as the customer has been able to stipulate clearly what they want you to achieve for them, if they've been able to say what you need to achieve to them, now the contract will have what is expected from you and what is expected from the customer, and payment is part of it. So you do your job well because you're basing it on the contract, and the customer does their job well by being able to support you to do the job and being able to pay you on time. Now, sometimes as a creative, you find yourself, someone wants to pay you in kind. Allow me to use this example. If you're a DJ and you're called to a club to do for a gig in the night on a Friday night, imagine when someone tells you that we'll pay you with drinks and the food that you'll eat for the night. You see, okay, it sounds good, but is it really what you're agreeing with? So it's very important to know how you are going to be paid, and I would encourage it to just come in monetary form. And any other form, when you want to buy yourself the food and the drink, you can buy it using your own money, but not at source. Or consenting and say, okay, out of the 10,000, you can give me 2 drinks, you can give me a plate of food. So that's where we are looking at as now. So this revenue and must be tied to a contract. Then on top of the contract, when you are done, you issue an invoice. The invoice that you're issuing must be items, because nobody is coming to build this nation. Grants have never built a nation. It's only tax money that has been able to build a nation. when you became an adult and you're going to university or any other form, you had to take a KRA PIN number. So that's when you start giving your e-tips. I'm happy if you're operating as a company, you have your iTax portal. If you don't have, call us, Cheru Lagat and Associates. We are able to help you migrate to e-tips. If not, you can just go to your e-citizen if you're operating under your name and you issue an e-tips invoice. Now, when you issue an e-tips invoice, remember your expenses also. Because at the end of the year, you need to file your income tax return so long as you're a citizen. And a citizen can come even in the form of a natural person or a company. Remember, companies have a PIN number and a natural person has a PIN number. So at the end of the year, you are expected to file your income tax return. Now, all your income, because they are all on e-tips, we need to also ensure our expenses. We were spending, basing it on e-tips. Sometimes we spent, we did not have an e-tips invoice, especially maybe you are in subscriptions. Let's say Canva, yeah? Or you're paying for your ChatGPT, you're paying for many AI, they're not in Kenya, but you can easily support those expenses if someone, a revenue authority or any other stakeholder demands for the expenses for the business. Now, on expense, let us give priority expenses that enable us earn more revenue. If it's paying on subscription on Canva, if it's paying for ChatGPT to learn more, or even if it means going for trainings that will sharpen you better. If you're in photography, you can attend a conference for photographers. You can attend where manufacturers of photographers are exhibiting and there's an entry ticket and you pay. So ensure you give priority to the things that will make you improve. Yeah? Anytime, you always put most of your expense to be on things that are not helping you improve. Very soon you'll be obsolete. Very soon you'll come with your camera. Very soon you'll be having things, you'll be working for 5 hours and people are using AI to work for 10 minutes and they're able to churn out a lot of work they're able to deliver in the shortest time possible. So we give expenses to things that are able to generate. Again, networking is part of it because income is infinite. There's no need of saying you can only do 500,000 a year. You can do 1 million, you can do 1 billion. So again, networking with other people who are in your ecosystem. Because also networking is very important to be targeted. You can go for networking for sales. You can go for networking of managing talent. You can go for networking for managing teams. You can go for networking with fellow with competitors, and that is where you're going to improve more and more. So we will file your returns. We'll enable you have a accounting software where you can be passing invoices or performance or quotation or sending statements to your clients. We can be having quarterly sessions with you, whether in your offices or a place that you will choose and prefer. We will be doing tax health checks with you as creatives, and as you improve, we improve. We are able to cross-pollinate with one another to ensure that we are building a solid base of professionals who are talented and innovative. Thank you very much. I'm wishing you success in your gigs, and it's my prayer that you'll thrive. Thank you.